Remember that standard deviation is a measure of spread. Basically, it tells us how far apart our data is. So a low standard deviation, like a smaller number, is going to mean our data is really close together, and a high standard deviation or a higher number is going to mean our data is spread apart. And so we can look at the standard deviation, and it basically tells us how close to the mean we can expect most of the data to fall. So in our test scores, let's go ahead and calculate our standard deviation. This is not something we're going to do by hand in class. We're just going to do it in our calculator. So we go to Stat, and we edit our list. Make sure that your list still has all of our test scores in there. And then we know it's in list 1, so we go back to Stat, and we're going to calculate our one variable statistics. It's in list 1. We don't have a frequency list. We click Calculate. And this tells us a lot of stuff, right? This tells us our mean. We've got a 5-number summary down here. But this is what we're really interested in, is these two things right here. These are both standard deviations. The one with the S is a standard deviation for a sample. And the sigma, this is the Greek letter sigma, this is the standard deviation for a population. And we're going to use this population standard deviation. You don't have to understand necessarily why there's two different ones, but there are. If we calculate it from a population or a sample, there's a slightly different way to calculate it. We're just going to use the population standard deviation, so it's this Greek letter sigma, and our standard deviation is 6.3, which tells us the spread of this data.